Deep in the heart of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort lies a quick service restaurant that I cannot remember the name for, so let me turn around and read it. El Mercado de Coronado, and that's exactly where we're eating at today for this Disney Dining Review. This Disney Dining Review is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content, you want to support us, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money, and you get the support of one of the great Dreams Unlimited Travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free no-obligation quote. This is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you want to learn how to get exclusive Diz Team content, head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. Now, this is a quick service restaurant, as I already said, right in the heart of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. I believe I already said that. And this is like always an afterthought for me, because if I'm coming to this resort, I'm usually going to Three Bridges. Maybe for some reason I'm going to Rick's. I don't know. But this is definitely not the place I think about eating. So it's been a while, but we'll see how it is. I think we're going to have fun today. Hopefully we like it. See how it goes.
Well, we are here inside of the El Mercado de Coronado, and spoiler alert, we already ate. But I'm gonna walk you through a little bit. There's a lot of, this is an interesting collection here. There's quite a bit of Italian food, pizzas, pastas. There are some rice bowls. There are handhelds. In the biz, they call those sandwiches or burgers. There's Tex Mex entrees like nachos. I don't remember if I said there were bowls or not, but it's pizza subs, calzones, and more. There's garlic knots. No garlic knots? There's pastas, like I said. I'm just running through it here. There's grab and go offerings, which are more handheld, as they say in the biz. And quite an extensive snack, dessert, and pastry area as well. So we, at the behest of Hannah, who put on her little devil horns and said, I want all this food. We got quite a bit of stuff. So I'm gonna tell you what we got. How about that? Okay. I got the Impossible Burger, which is a plant-based Impossible patty, roasted red bell peppers, goat cheese, arugula, and chipotle aioli. God, I cannot speak today. Chipotle aioli served with a side of French fries. That was $17. I'm just gonna run through all the entrees and then I'll tell you what I thought, because I feel like I went splitsies with Craig. I didn't have Hannah's, so I'll let her talk about that. But I'll stick to just the entrees right now. The other entree item was one of the bowls. It was a spicy plant-based chorizo rice bowl, which was rice bowls. Sorry, the description on this is weird. Rice bowls served atop a bed of cilantro lime rice, black beans, and street corn sauce, and topped with lettuce, pico de gallo, pickled red onions, shredded cheese, and fresh cilantro. That's the description for all of them. So we got a spicy plant-based chorizo rice bowl, as well as the fire-braised chicken rice bowl. We also got a side of street corn, which is $6. It is white corn, lime cilantro aioli, cotija cheese, flamin' hot Cheetos, and fresh cilantro. My word, I cannot speak today, I'm sorry. Accompanied with this, we also, yeah, you're right. You're like, that's enough for 3 people, right? No, not these 3 people. We got market nachos. Those are corn tortilla chips with ground beef and cheese sauce, pico de gallo, and sour cream. $14 for that number. And then it had, nope, those were all the accoutrements that I said there. So let me run you through what I ate in terms of the entrees, because there was also a truffle cheesecake. There was also a thing. We'll get to that part. I had the Impossible Burger. I thought it was, I like Impossible Burgers, so I thought it was good, but it wasn't, I thought the bun it was served on maybe was like a potato roll or something like that. That was really good, nice soft bread. I don't really know that I got any of the goat cheese in there. I'm realizing as I read this, I think it was left off, like, because it was on there. I didn't really come through the burger very well, and the chipotle aioli was a little liquidy. It was a little drippy, but it was fine. It wasn't really anything special. It was like your standard issue Impossible Burger, which I like. It just didn't really have that uniqueness to it, or at least it didn't shine through. So I did enjoy the fries, because they were not the typical like Disney fries. They were cut a little bit thicker. I felt like they retained their heat well, and they were well salted, so I enjoyed those. The market nachos, as many a joke as we were making about them as we walked up, because they were definitely like out under a heat lamp, like when you go to a movie theater. They had a little bowl of queso, they had that bowl of the meat, and then the accoutrements were in what looked like a cookie bag all rolled up and taped together. I actually didn't hate these. I thought they were a pretty hefty portion, and I liked the ground beef in it. It reminded me of Taco Bell taco meat. If you haven't heard of Taco Bell, you've got to try it. It's this new place. It's pretty good. And then for the spicy plant-based chorizo rice bowl, you know, it's not like breaking the mold on this, but I didn't hate this. I thought the chorizo had a little bit of nice spice to it. I thought there was a good amount for it. $17, I don't know. I feel like the prices here are just a little higher, like $1 or $2 higher than they should be, but it wasn't bad. It just, again, it was like without the chorizo, I think everything in the bowl would have been very bland. For me, that's for me. For Hannah, I don't know.
Okay, so I have to say I was not very excited about this because when I looked at the menu, I was like, this is weird. Why is it mostly like chicken fingers and pastas and things like that? I thought we were gonna come in here and have like a Chipotle experience, or I don't know, I could get like fajitas or maybe a quesadilla, but I couldn't get any of those. But what I did get is I got the market nachos. You know, nachos for the table is one does. That was my thought process there. So I was very confused at first because yes, like Rhino said, they were like served with just like the meat and the cheese and the chips. And I was like, well, that's kind of sad. Is that nachos? I don't know. And then I realized that you had to get your toppings in the little mini fridge beside it. And I actually ended up kind of liking it because then like you could have all the sour cream that your heart desires. And that's a lot for me. So I thought those were actually pretty good. You could definitely make a meal out of that. And for 14 bucks, I feel like that's pretty good. It was that white cheese dip that I love so much. The only problem is with it being under a heat lamp, it was kind of congealed, but you know, cheese is cheese. And then for my entree, I got the fire braised chicken and rice bowl, and it basically you can pick and choose what you want in the bowl, or you can just say, nah, I want all of it. So that's what I chose. I feel like it was lacking spice. It just was kind of bland, like it just needed a little something extra. And you guys were saying that yours, the plant-based chorizo was kind of spicy. Mine was not at all. And I feel like if it would have had just a little bit more heat, it would have been good. This was $16. Portion size on it was huge. I feel like, well, huge might be a little dramatic. You could, okay, so here, if I was gonna come back, I would split the nachos and I would split a bowl and I would go home and it'd be a good time. Mexican street corn, I thought was fine. I mean, it's, you know, creamy cheese. Or I shouldn't say creamy cheese. It was like, what?
I didn't say what I thought about, what I thought about the street corn.
Say it now.
I liked it.
Same for me, double. I liked it, yeah. I mean, $6, sure. You know, it's just, it was a lot of food, but that was my choice. It was for me. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I hate saying that. I don't want to do that anymore.
I need to point out, no one is forcing Hannah to say that's all I have to say about that. We just started saying it the one time when we were at Mama Melrose, and it stuck for the rest of it. But we're not here to talk about sayings. We have plenty of them. We're here to talk about that food. And the nachos, they were fine. They were, I was willing to get this as my entree, and I don't know if I would have been disappointed, but also not like... It's not like Margaritaville nachos where you're like, if you're ever at a Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, you got to get the nachos. I don't know why I chose that. I could have chosen like a million places, a baseball stadium, a hockey arena. You know, there's so many great homes for nachos. I don't know if this one is, but I guess it was satisfying compared to other things we ate here. The Mexican street corn, for me, I thought all the flavors were there. It was just missing a binder to it. There was nothing to keep the cheese and the flaming hot Cheetos in with the corn. Like, I know it said there was a little bit of a aioli, depending on what part of the world you're from and how you want to say it, because I know we're going to get comments about it regardless. You fools, you can't say it.
How do you say it?
Listen, I always say aioli, which I believe, aioli. And so I looked it up after the last time, history lesson. Apparently, it's more common for Europeans to say aioli, and Americans are more likely to say aioli. So what's that? Oh, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut that out. They don't need to know. So yeah, so you have that on there, but it still felt like it was missing something. Like throw a little extra mayonnaise in there, bind it all together so that way the cheese and the Cheetos are sticking to that and keeps it all together with the corn. But flavor-wise, it was like almost there. The Impossible Burger, Rhino, there was goat cheese on there, as I already told you. Just like I think they're losing money here, and they're like, how can we like save on our budget? Like, give them like half a teaspoon of goat cheese, and that'll be good. And the same thing went with the roasted red bell peppers on there. There was maybe 3 little strips of roasted red pepper on there. That's just not nearly enough. Like this, for a $17 burger, you expect it to be like overloaded with toppings and then watch them fall off, and it wasn't. So it could have been better. It just wasn't. And for the bowl, yeah, they're just bland bowls. That's basically all you can say about it. So many things that should be bringing flavor, from the pico de gallo, the pickled red onion, and the street corn sauce that's on there. But all it tasted like was white rice, because I do not believe that was cilantro lime rice either. I got no lime. I got no cilantro. It just looked like white rice in a bowl. I could taste the white rice. I could taste the black beans. And then I could taste the spicy plant-based chorizo. I would have been interested in the barbacoa beef, but honestly, when it said spicy and Rhino and I decided to split it, I'm like, we've just got to go with that. I know we're doing 2 plant-based things, so, well, you're welcome, first off. But second, I knew if they put spicy in there, that means that's the only thing that's going to have actual flavor to it. And sure enough, we were correct on that. So the entree portions, I would say I feel like I don't want to be too harsh on it. It's mediocre, but overall it is. I think it's just weird that this resort is so heavily themed, like a lot of the Walt Disney World resorts. But like, you walk into the Polynesian and you go to Captain Cook's, and it's like, while there are a couple normal things on that menu, it does exude like that type of food they're going for with the South Pacific, Polynesian, Hawaiian. You get it there. This falls more in line with other moderates like French Quarter, where there's 3 or 4 options that felt like to be New Orleans style, and then they had pastas and stuff like that. So I maybe it's just the downside of moderate and value resorts, where they trying to please too many people rather than finding one good food. And I have to second hand on this. Why wasn't there a freaking quesadilla on the menu?
For dessert, there is actually like a nice little like coffee bar in here that had a lot of pastries and stuff like that. Hannah had her eye on a dulce de leche cupcake, it was labeled. We later unveiled it and found out that that cake had turned into a cheesecake. So what worries me is that we ate unrefrigerated cheesecake that was just sitting in the window, and now I'm thinking about that more and more, and my stomach is hurting me. That's that. I got from the refrigerator a tres leches cake that was $7.50, and it wasn't that big, so I don't know. $7.50 feels like could have been a little cheaper, but it was interesting. It had an interesting texture to it, and when I was looking at the cake, it looks like it maybe had a little bit of, like Hannah said, it could have been like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like kind of crushed up in the cake. That gave it almost, I don't want to use the word sandy, but it's the appropriate sandy. It gave it it gave it a little bit of like a grainy texture. I liked it. I thought it was good. But is it the best one I've ever had? No. But I walked in here wanting a tres leches cake, and I'm leaving out of here haven't eaten a tres leches cake. So I'm satisfied in that terms of thing. In terms of Hannah's dulce de leche room temperature cheesecake, I thought it was fine. It was pretty big. It was large. It was definitely a splittable item, and it was a little light on that dulce de leche flavoring, probably because of all the cream and the cheese that was at room temperature, which is fine, I'm sure. So before I move on, or before everyone moves on, you've already moved on, I feel like I just want to say this room in here is pretty big. It is large. It has a very, very tall ceilings. It's very reflective of the rest of the resort. I don't know, there is something about this resort to me that makes, like, it is a convention resort. And And there are things where I was like, I don't know why I associate really tall ceilings with conventions, because the Contemporary also has convention space and it also has really tall ceilings everywhere. So I was like, that's a thing, I think, at conventions. So it was like okay while we were in here, but it sounds like the type of place that could get incredibly loud if it was full. Also be warned, there will be a lot of half-naked under 18-year-olds walking around in their bathing suits for some weird reason, and I have never been more uncomfortable with that. So I wish there was sort of a no shoes, no bottoms, no tops, no service, but I don't want to alienate communities from being able to come in here and eat here. But it was a little, every time we went to film something, I'd be like, oh, I got to move the camera a little bit because this adult woman came in just a bikini top. But here we are. It's not, you know what? Not for me. Not for me. But would I come back here, or would I run away screaming for the hills? I think that if I was starving and I was here already, I'm like not opposed to coming over, but I am definitely like not gonna seek this out. I think I'd rather just wait until it's like later afternoon and go and see if Barcelona Lounge is open over there and get yourself a gin and tonic, or maybe go upstairs to the Dahlia Lounge. But I like the Barcelona Lounge. Yeah, I said it that way, and get over it. But, you know, what are you gonna do?
So I did pick out the dulce de leche cupcake, and it looked appealing. It was this massive, beautiful cupcake, and then I didn't even think about the fact that I'm pretty sure it was cheesecake, or it had cream cheese in it. It definitely was just like chilling out on the counter. So I don't know what the food safety rules on that are. I feel like Disney's probably pretty good about it, but it was a lot of cream cheese. And then I didn't dislike it though. Like, I thought it was okay because I like cream cheese. It was huge. There's no way one person could eat that by themselves, and I eat a lot. I ordered table manners. I'm that person. Yeah, so I don't know. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I will say the pastry area though looked great. Like, I feel like this is like one of the better spots for that maybe at Disney Resort. Like, I just don't remember any other quick service having like all these different unique pastries. So if this were me, I would just come back here and get a cup of coffee and a pastry in the morning, and that would be it for me here. I did like the tres leches cake. I do feel like that price was like too high. It was in a small little cup, but hey, you know, if you're craving it, you're craving it. So yeah, other than that, I didn't love anything I had here. And actually, I thought about it. The nachos, they have nachos at the pool, and dare I say, the nachos at the pool are better than the nachos here. So don't know what's up with that, but that tells me I would rather just get pool nachos, or I would wait until the Barcelona Lounge opens up, or I would go to Three Bridges, or I would just eat in a park probably. But I mean, the restaurant itself is pretty, like, they've definitely done some updates in here. You know, the tall ceilings, as Rhino mentioned, there's some very pretty lanterns in here. But yeah, it's at the same time like a little open, and I don't know if cold is the right word, but it is like these large ceilings and tile floors. Like, I'm sure, especially with like conventions, and like there's a dance and cheer competition here, like probably when this place is busy is like 10 out of 10 overwhelming. There are seats outside you could sit at instead. So this is not for me, but overall it wasn't a bad meal. And hey, I did get something different than chicken strips, so I guess I'm not mad about it. And they do force me to say. That's all I have to say about that.
I cared for neither dessert. The tres leches had the milk taste, but the texture just completely lost me. So I would say, if you love tres leches, just wait until you know where you can get it at a place you love it, and just have it there. Don't have this one. And the cupcake, cheesecake, I'm gonna kind of counter both of you, because I do believe in like a lot of recipes that use cream cheese. They do tell you to bring it to room temperature, so that way it whips up better. So I'm not as concerned on the food safety side with it. But then again, I also will eat pizza that's been sitting out for 3 days without thinking about it one bit. And I'm just, you know, sometimes you can't break those habits from college, where it's like the pizza box won't fit in the refrigerator. What do? Just leave it out. Why not? And you know what? I'm still here. My doctor keeps telling me that I need to change the way I am, but that's a whole different conversation, not for the Disney dining show. But I don't know. Either way, it's nothing blew me away here. And I just, you know, for this resort, I would rather go and eat at Three Bridges, even if I'm still upset that they never brought back, well, they got rid of my specialty burger there, my signature burger, and Rhino said the new one's awful, and yet they didn't bring back the old one, so that's a miss. But I do think Rick's, right across the way from us here, I've had their burger before. I've had some of their food before, besides the breakfast that we ate here with Erica, and I actually have never had a bad meal, truly, at Rick's. Just like sometimes you're like, I don't think it's worth the money. But again, convention hotel, I feel like everything is a little bit more expensive because they want to get those people that are on their per diems that don't really think about it as much. But, you know, we're kind of, with this, we're leaving out Gran Destino, really, in a way. I know they keep talking about Barcelona, but for me, I'm like, if I want Coronado, I want the true Coronado experience right around here. I stay away from Gran Destino. I don't have that Gran Destino money. So, yeah, I don't know. Just skip this place. Maybe do what Hannah said and do your pastries and a coffee and leave it at that. But, yeah, I don't think I've eaten here in 11 years. I think it was like when we did a 7 and 7 here, maybe back in 2013. And I can expect myself to not eat here again for another 10 years, if that. So that's going to do it for this Disney dining review. If you liked it and you want to support us, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Remember, you can get exclusive content from the DIS team at patreon.com/DISUnlimited. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, video suggestions in the comment section. And if you are listening to this, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you always get the latest episode, and leave us positive ratings and reviews when possible. But that's it for us here at the restaurant that I've already forgotten its name, at Coronado Springs Resort. We'll see you again real soon with another Disney dining review. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay hungry.
Yummy, yummy.